Are we filming?
Yes.
Hi guys, welcome to Yoga for When You Have Your Period. This practice is all about that time of the month when we're looking to slow down, honor our body's natural rhythms, give ourselves a little bit of self-love, but not too much. If you're like me, you obviously love indulging in a little bit of ice cream and that downtime, but the sequence is all about finding a balance between that. So honoring the body's natural rhythm, taking it really easy, really slow, but also finding a little bit of movement and space so that we can work into those lower belly aches and pains, but also into the back. If you have a few pillows handy, awesome. Go ahead and grab 2, 3, or 4, depending on how extra you want to be. If you have a bolster, even better. So we'll start off on our backs today. We'll just need one pillow under the head. And keep a bend in the knees here. Allow the back of the skull to soften down. Relax the shoulders, draw the shoulder blades down the back. And here, let's keep the knees connected and just gently walk the feet out to the outer edges here, allowing the knees to knock together. You can take one hand to the lower belly, to the womb, one hand to the chest if it feels comfortable, otherwise to the lower ribs. Just take a moment to check in with how the belly is feeling today. Whether you're on day 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7. Just taking a moment to connect in with anything that's going on internally. So this interoception here. Maybe you've been experiencing pain or cramps in the belly today. Maybe there's been some lower back issues. Maybe you've been feeling a little frustrated or agitated. Knowing that this time of the month also can influence and affect our moods, our nervous system. And as you start to soften and let go here, let's take a moment of appreciation for this body and all it does for you. For how incredibly lucky we are to have a healthy working body. Let's take a moment to draw your attention to the breath. Notice how it's moving here. The beating of the heart. And maybe you can feel this subtle vibration or pulse in the palm of the hand or hands. And here we're not going to do any fancy or technical breath work. We're just going to allow the breath to move at its own pace, its own rhythm. And just really allowing the body to guide you through this practice today. Allowing this to be an intuitive practice. Good, let's take a last few deep, steady breaths here at your own pace. Let's go ahead and extend through the legs. Reach the arms overhead, take a deep breath in, find length, grow tall, consume a little more space. Inhale. And exhale. Rocking out to the sides. So gently make your way to a seat onto the knees. And we'll find our way into a child's pose here. So take the knees quite wide as you can and as wide as feels comfortable here. And then you can stack a few pillows right up in between the thighs. If you have a bolster, you might even use that bolster. For me, I'm going to use a blend of both today. Take a deep breath in, lengthen through the crown of the head. Exhale, gently softening it forward, resting the chest. You might even use the pillows or the hands as a little cushion. Turn the head to one side here. Just finding an angle of the knees that feels good, so it might be a little closer together, it might be further apart. Just be mindful of how this feels for you. So again, this practice is all about softening and letting go, providing the body with a little bit of release during this time when we often feel heightened sensations, especially around the pelvis. And during this time, we have this downward force of energy, so what we call a prana in yoga. And we also try to honor that too, so avoiding any inversions, avoiding anything that might circumvent that. So please be mindful as we do come into this poses, how the belly does feel. If it does feel compressed in any forward folds or any twists today, take these as gently as you like. You know, you always have this option to return to the pose we began in on the back. So this particular pose should feel quite nourishing for the lower spine, while also creating a little space in the hips and the pelvis. Okay, take a deep breath in, lift the head, exhale, turning to the opposite side. Can you slow the breath down a little more? And just allow this to be more of an invitation of breath rather than forcing anything here. Good, and then walk the hands back, lift the chest. Here you can just release the head side to side a little, take a few neck rolls. And then you can just take a little wriggle into the hips, into the shoulders. Good, and then let's push the bolster off to the side, the pillows off to the side. Just create a little bit of space. Find your cat-cow here. Stack shoulders over the wrists, hips over the knees. I'm just going to start with a little wriggle side to side. Extenuating or extending that movement into the shoulders. Rocking side to side. Start to draw some circles. Changing direction whenever you feel the need. And so what you might be noticing here is the body feeling a little rigid, a little less mobility in the hips. That's completely okay. Work with where you're at, what you've got today. Good. And let's just start to find a little freedom of movement here. So again, that intuitive movement, just moving however the body is asking to be moved. You might find a few rounds of cat-cow. You might start to rotate the hips. You might send it back. You might extend through the arms a little more. So it doesn't need to be perfect here. It doesn't need to be symmetric. We are absolutely asymmetrical beings. So just let it roll and move and make any kind of shape here that you fancy. Good, now let's meet back in tabletop. When you are ready, find your way to a seat towards the back of the sit bones, just to create that little more length in the lower spine. Take a blanket or pillow to sit on top of. And then let's bring the soles of the feet to connect for Baddha Konasana, bound ankle or butterfly pose. You can push the heels away a little more if that feels okay to do so. If you're working with your pillows today, go ahead and stack them one on top of each other. And you can work into your fold here. If you have a bolster, this will allow you to utilize a little more space. So you might rest the bolster onto the forehead. You might hug it into the chest. Or again, you might come into that forward fold. If you have opted to come into this forward fold here, again, be mindful of this compression of the belly, how it's feeling for you. Walk the hands forward, find an angle that is supporting where you're at today. So it might be coming to this really deep forward fold, or it might be backing off a little. You might be allowing yourself to just hang out in space. Might be noticing the body opening and inviting you to come a little deeper into these poses as you stay. With each breath, you might find yourself dropping in a little more, releasing the head, relaxing the shoulders. Just checking in with how the belly's doing, how the spine's doing. I am already feeling a lot of relief in the lower abdomen here. But also in the mind. Find your last few deep breaths. Inhale, walk the hands back, lift the chest. Good, pop your bolster off to the side, pillows off to the side. Draw the knees together. Let's crawl up into a little ball here. Just take a little rock side to side. Good, and then we'll start to come into our side for fetus pose. Pillow onto the head works really well for this one. And we have the option to take this one into a twist if it feels good, but that's depending on where you're at today. So take your left ear to the mat, stack the knees, extend through the arms. So this pose is actually the pose that I sleep in. You might come here and decide that that's exactly what you want to do. Or if it's feeling okay to do so, I'd like you to go ahead and stack some pillows right behind the back here, just onto the earth behind the sit bones. If you have your bolster, you can go ahead and press the bolster right up into the sit bones. And this is just going to serve as our way to keep the pelvis steady in this pose. So pressing up right into the butt here. Take a deep breath in, reach that top hand to the sky. And as you exhale, allow it to drift and drop behind you. Try to keep the arms around shoulder height here. So we're looking for these opening twists during this time of the month too. So avoiding any twists that might compress the belly or might tighten into that area. So looking for anything that more so invites space. And an easy twist like this allows us to do just that. So it's really about finding that balance and what we need. When we're feeling tired, when we're feeling lethargic, when we're feeling exhausted, depleted this time of the month, maybe a little sluggish. Definitely about honoring that, accepting these limitations, but also not staying there. So finding that wisdom of exactly where in between is what we need. So sometimes we might pack up and stay there, in which case we don't give our bodies these benefits of movement. So finding that balance between stillness and movement. Between softening, letting go and challenging ourselves. Between effort and ease. Last breath in. Reach that hand to the sky. Exhale, starting back in your fetus pose. Just take a few steady breaths here. Notice how the belly, the back is doing. Good. When you're ready, let's swap over to the opposite side. So coming all the way onto the opposite side, take your pillow or your bolster, press it right up into the back body again. So you really want it to connect it right up with the sit bones. Extend through the arms. On your next inhale, take that top hand to the sky. Exhale out to drift and drop behind you. So bolster here is just keeping that pelvis steady, offering the lower body some support here. Relax the shoulders, release the face. Feel the heart grow heavy, soften the belly. Find that steady breath, a rhythm, a pace that works for you. Last full breath in, reach that hand to the sky, exhale back to your fetus position. And when you're ready, gently make your way onto your back, extend through the legs. Find your way into Savasana for your final resting pose of today. So in this particular pose, yogi's choice, however you would like to take it. I would recommend taking a bolster under the knees for this one. And what this does is just allows the front muscles of the hips to relax and the lower spine to soften in. And if you have any additional pillows, go ahead and place them over the belly. Sometimes this pressure and this weight can feel really nice this time of the month, but it also works into our parasympathetic system, our relax response, our rest and digest. You might take the hands to the belly, one hand to the belly, one hand to the heart, or just rest the arms beside you. If there's any other position here that serves you, go ahead and make that shape. I'm actually going to bring the soles of my feet together to rest onto the top of the bolster here. More of an elevated Baddha Konasana. Just checking in with how you're feeling, anything that might have shifted or changed, even after this short time, these very few poses. I can definitely notice a little more space in this area. This softening when there was a lot of cramping and tightening. A little more clarity in the mind. So whatever you're feeling here and now, just allow that to sink in, to resonate within and without. And again, closing this practice with a moment of gratitude, appreciation for our bodies, for this practice, but also for ourselves, and taking time to make time to come to our mat today, to find stillness, to find movement, to find space. Staying here as long as you like. Letting Savasana take you wherever you need to go. And whenever you are ready, you can bring a little movement back to the fingers, the toes, turn the head side to side as you awaken the body. And do this as gently and softly as you can. Making your way to a comfortable seat. Let's finish with the hands at the heart, bowing the head. Finding one last full breath in. Feel the belly. A full breath out, exhale, let it go. Namaste. Hey you guys, thanks for joining me for Yoga for When You Have Your Period. I hope you're feeling a little more relief, and if you did enjoy this video as a little energy exchange for creating these, I would so appreciate if you could subscribe or share this video with just one girlfriend. Thank you.